Hey everyone, Ivy Lee Gaming here, and today we're playing Raid Shadow Legends, and we are on the test server. I am doing just a slight variation of my other comp that I did for the Iron Twin Fortress Stage 15 Force Affinity. So I actually kept this very similar to the other video. If you saw that one, you might just see one main difference. So I did want to still include our main little star here, Deliana. We also have Ukko, who is the current fusion, and at least when I'm recording this, about to be the fusion soon. But yeah, we have Stag in the mixture instead of Tomb Lord. So this was solid. This is 2-minute run, full auto. I did set AI, of course. So what I want to do is I want to show you guys the setup. I'll show you the people in case you're seeing this video before you saw my other video. But if you're curious, and this is the first video you're seeing of my ones from Stage 15 Force Affinity, I also have done one using Tomb Lord instead of Stag Knight. But this is the budget version, and it seemed just fine. I honestly ended up using almost the same gear. I just had to make some changes because their stats are a bit different. But yeah, so let me show you guys my team setup here. So we have Deliana in the lead. She goes first. She needs to place her decreased resistance debuff. And then we have, let's see, we have, these two are about the same speed. It doesn't really matter when they go. Honestly, all these guys, it don't matter when they go. But we have Stag Knight in here. I did make sure he leads with his A1, so they have the decreased speed debuff here going. This is really, really important because you need to have that, or else when you place a buff, the boss will boost himself turn meter wise. So you don't want that to happen. You need that decreased speed buff up all the time. So that's just really important. He's also really great because these are his only two skills: decrease attack, decrease defense, and this. I mean, the passive doesn't hurt as well. But yeah, he's really, really good here. He can actually help here increase our accuracy if needed too. Doesn't hurt. We have Mighty Ukko here. This is the current fusion. Such a great champion. I have them leading off with a decreased accuracy debuff just to help get that going, so we actually have some chances to resist stuff if you build your people to resist. Then I have Geomancer here as my main damage source. I am locked out his A2. Everything else I kept standard. And then I have Helikath in here for that amazing protection with his block damage going first, and then shield, and then it letting AI do its thing. So this was a full auto 2 minutes, guys. Super easy. Let's take a look. I will do a run here, and you can see this one in action. You can see this in action. This is a great team as well. Super simple, and I love the use of Deliana. That decreased resistance debuff is extremely important. Without that decreased did I say decreased defense? What did I say? Decreased resistance debuff. Things are not gonna land. So one thing that is huge in this boss, resistance and accuracy. They are high thresholds for stage 15. So one good thing about Deliana is she has the decrease resist debuff, so she can allow everyone else to have lower levels of accuracy to be able to fight the boss. But she needs to have good accuracy. But her passive allows for that. So I'll show that when we get to showing the kits, and I'll show you guys my builds for everybody quickly. So this is going a little bit slower. I'm actually not sure why. What happened there? We're already at a minute, and it seems slow, but I guess it'll start ramping up, I hope. We're already at a minute. Why so slow? Why so slow? Full auto is going to be needed for these guys. I mean, obviously, when you're working through the lower levels, you're probably going to want a manual, especially if you go right in and try to go hard and build your team like this for sake of stage 15. You're going to need to auto the lower levels because nothing's going to fall into place because the speeds and everything are going to be quite different. But once you get to stage 15, you definitely want to find something that can full auto, ideally. I mean, it's farming 6 keys a day. That sucks to have to do that manually, so you don't want to be stuck farming on auto or on manual. And the other thing is, there are probably going to be some teams, I've mentioned this in my other video too, there's going to be teams that can do every affinity, I'm sure. as well. As you can see, I do have a mixture of the same affinity and the strong affinity in this comp and in my other comp as well. And I will probably do that for all of them. But there probably are going to be some teams that are void heavy, especially with characters like Krisk that really are fine doing all affinities. I really think that might be the case, but I don't have a Krisk to find out, unfortunately. So that's a little bit rough for me. But I don't have Neck Mothar either, guys. That would make this ideal. Would love a Neck Mothar. But yeah, you're going to see a variety of teams here, and you want to be at a full auto. You don't want to be stuck doing keys slowly, manually, every day. Nope, we don't want that. But yeah, so I have everyone above 250 speed. The resistance threshold is high, and so is the accuracy. So let's take a look at my characters, and I can show you where I did and what I mean when I'm talking about that. So, Deliana, I have her at 420 accuracy, but really, this is 580 accuracy, guys. You need at least 550 accuracy to counter its resistance here, at least, ideally more, which is why this actually works out fine. She has no problems landing the debuff here, but they really made the threshold strong, but I think they're trying to force that. I think they're trying to force us to use characters like Deliana that we all were annoyed of because she's meh compared to Ninja, but actually she's a really good champion, and here I am using Deliana in the end game. So I did have everybody above 250 speed. She does need to be my fastest champion, so she goes first and places the decrease resistance debuff. That way everyone else can actually land their debuffs. Otherwise, nothing's going to land because nobody's going to have enough accuracy. So that was key for my Deliana build. And yeah, otherwise, the resistance, not high enough either. Even with the decreased accuracy debuff, it's a little bit meh. Here is her masteries. So my next one here, we do have Mighty Ukko. Same masteries on Mighty Ukko. Ukko is so much fun. New champion. We've got that decreased accuracy here. We've got extra decreased attack and an AoE. We also have a bit of an insurance here with the revive. She's so great, or he's so great for the revive. And he puts block damage on everybody. Plus an increased speed aura doesn't hurt to make sure we are fast enough for counteracting the boss. So I think if you're using an increased speed aura, you don't need to be as high as 250. I kind of did that assuming no decreased speed, but then I ended up using him. But it seemed to be okay. It just is a little bit off tune. I'm sure that could be perfected though. But I do have decent accuracy on him. I would say try to get everybody above 350 and then use someone like Deliana with a decreased resistance debuff first, and then 350 for everybody else that needs to land a debuff. So again, above 250 speed and solid HP. I kind of focused the HP and everything pretty strongly. Let's see here. And then Helicath is our support here. I forgot to finish his masteries. I still shouldn't have. I swear one of these days I'm going to actually complete those. I don't know why I never did, but I still keep laughing at my red dot every time. But I do have him booked in the way of not booking the cooldown, so these are on the same turn, and it just helps for a simple rotation of using the skills, and it makes it easier to tune if you want to speed tune. I do think you could speed tune an unkillable type comp, especially if you use two different types of unkillable champs for this, but it might get a little bit complicated with the passive of the boss, so just keep that in mind. But Helicath is here. He is defense focused for those shields, so I have nice defense of 5,000. Could be a lot higher, but I did try to balance and give him a little bit HP. Plus we need speed, and look, I did give him good resistance. I was worried about him, so I wanted to have some resistance there because he is the one with high defense. So I thought I could try to resist the Iron Brand because I knew he would get thrown a big stack of it. But unfortunately, the 500 isn't enough. That's how hard this boss is, unfortunately. Let's see here. Then we have Stag Knight and Geomancer. Geomancer is key. He is so good with that passive. He is the main damage dealer there, as you could see from those numbers when I showed it. He is with a solid accuracy as well. I kind of had him a little bit higher for Hydra, so it didn't hurt to make a little bit of adjustments to make sure he was at what he needed to be for this boss as well. And then we have Stagnite. So Stagnite is my little bit more budget version compared to Tomb Lord. They do almost the same thing there. And I did put him in regen gear like I had in Tomb Lord just to help keep him alive. He's a little bit squishier. He does have lower base stats, but I was able to get him 3,000 defense and 6,500 HP. So it's actually not too bad. Above 250 speed as well. And then about 350 accuracy. I probably should make that a tiny bit higher, but I think we ended up being okay for that run. And then masteries wise, I do have his masteries with War Master and then simple stuff here. I actually might want to take this off because for sake of this battle, I don't want to use that any extra. I want to make sure he's keeping this buff up. So honestly, I don't want this to go again. That can stay up just fine. I'd rather make sure we had the decreased speed aura on. So I would say maybe don't include that mastery. Don't include this in part of it because it's not as logical for this setup if you're using Stagnite only for this purpose. Whew. Oh, this is a fun boss though, guys. This is a fun boss. I went through a roller coaster of emotions when I was actually fighting it because it got hard and it just seemed overtuned, especially once we were, as content creators, we were chatting and we're just like, this is ridiculous. It's 600 accuracy and resistance plus 250 speed. People can't just do that. But that's where you have to get creative, guys, and that's why I brought in Deliana. She was my way of getting creative on that front. So I think the key elements in this boss are going to be decrease resistance on one champion, and that champion is going to need to be able to land that. So I'm not kidding when I say like 550, 600 accuracy one way or another, but Deliana makes that easy. And then decrease accuracy is going to be extremely helpful if you do want to try to resist all those debuffs being thrown at you. It's hard to hit that stat too, so you're really going to want decrease accuracy debuff. And then you're always going to need decrease speed up, and that's why people like Tomb Lord, Mother Sybil, and Nekmothar, Krisk, two people I don't have. Those people are going to be so valuable for this boss. I'm sure you're going to see some interesting comps with people, especially using Krisk. I'm not going to lie. That's probably going to be one of the most popular champions used for this. Again, Krisk just is the most valuable champion in the game at more and more, and I'm just sad I don't have him. But I was using her for one of my runs, but it was way less reliable. I had her in Relentless gear, which was throwing off her being protected from Helicath. Plus she has some boosting kind of worked into her kit. And then her A1 is pretty low chance to land, so it was kind of But in the end, I really like using Helicath, Tomb Lord, and Stagnite. So I think they do the job really well, and it's okay to get by with them for the decrease speed roll. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little addendum to my team here and seeing Stagnite in action. I think it's going to be pretty reliable. Things get a little bit wishy-washy, but so far none of my runs have failed, even though they've come close. And anything I've been trying since I kind of got this core team together, at least for Force Affinity. But stay tuned for more videos. I'm going to constantly try to showcase different teams that I use for the different affinities of the Iron Twins, and maybe we'll find a perfect team that can handle all affinities. We'll certainly give that a try. If other content creators, I'm sure, are going to be doing that too, but I'm going to certainly try to get there as well. Even maybe a super OP team of voids, whatever. We'll see. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, this has been the test server. This is before all of this has actually come out. So it's been fun. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.